The 3 Best Sugar Wash Recipes for Home Distilling. By J.B. Wagonmaker. Sugar washes are one of the first recipes that the beginner distiller will learn. They're cheap, easy, and produce a high ABV wash ready for distilling. If you're making vodka or gin, most people will start with a sugar wash. A sugar wash comprises sugar, water, yeast, and nutrients. It makes a decent neutral spirit that serves as a base for other drinks like gin and whiskey. The best recipes are Birdwatcher's Tomato Paste Wash, Still Spirits Turbo Wash, and Ted's Fast-fermenting Vodka. They all produce a smooth neutral spirit and are suited for any budget. What is a sugar wash? A sugar wash is a recipe made from a combination of sugar, water, nutrients, and yeast. The purpose of preparing it is to create a neutral spirit, vodka, that you can flavor as desired. It serves as a base for spirits like gin and vodka, but can also be used for whiskey and rum. Most importantly, a sugar wash is an easy and cost-effective wash for beginners. Our tips when making a sugar wash. A sugar wash may be simple, but there are some nuances to producing a good final product. These include adhering to a specific sugar-to-water ratio for your wash, using a suitable yeast to ferment the wash, tracking the gravity of your wash, and clarifying the wash. Here are our tips when making a sugar wash. 1. The type of sugar. The aim of a sugar wash is to make a neutral spirit devoid of taste and scent. So, when choosing the type of sugar you want to use, we suggest you use white sugar, plain table sugar. It has the essential foods glucose, fructose, and sucrose to kickstart fermentation, and it produces smooth vodka without an intense taste. Conversely, corn sugar dextrose has up to a 100% conversion rate, so you'll wind up with a sharp-tasting spirit, which leaves little room to play around with flavorings. 2. The brew ratio. The amount of sugar you use is also vital. For every gallon, 3.8 liters, of water, we recommend using 2 pounds, 900 grams, of sugar. The sugar-to-water ratio does affect the gravity reading, which ultimately affects the alcohol by volume proof of your final product. 3. The starting gravity. A gravity reading of between 1.070 to 1.092 is ideal because it will yield between 12 and 16% fermented alcohol. We believe this is the sweet spot, excuse the pun, between efficiency and taste. Pushing most yeast past 16% tends to produce poor flavor congeners. It's recommended to take a gravity reading before you pitch your yeast, so you have an idea of whether or not to add more water to dilute the sugar or add a tiny bit more sugar to the mix. The more sugar you have, the higher the gravity. And vice versa. Having too high a gravity can stress your yeast, resulting in an off-tasting final product. 4. The type of yeast. Normal baker's yeast works great. It can produce up to 17% ABV from your fermented wash. When using baker's yeast, you'd have to supplement it with nutrients to aid the process of fermentation. Some distillers use turbo yeast because it has added nutrients and amino acids. However, we find turbo yeasts horrendously expensive and produce a bad-tasting wash. We strongly recommend you buy a proper distiller's yeast like those made by Distilling or Soft Spirits. In this article we share our top 5 yeasts for making vodka and neutral, which is ideal for a sugar wash. 5. Adding yeast nutrients. Nutrients fuel your yeast, which helps to speed up the fermentation process. In addition to an acidic environment, yeast thrives when provided with food so it can produce a delicious final product. You can add store-bought tomato paste, yeast nutrients, or turbo yeast which includes nutrients in the packet to complement the yeast. 6. Clarification of the wash. We highly recommend you clear your wash. Clarifying your spirit entails removing any yeast sediments that might potentially scorch at the bottom of your boiler. Also, having these sediments when distilling does result in an off final product. To clear your wash, you can use a clearing agent or siphon your wash into a clean carboy and let it sit to allow the sediments to settle at the bottom. The 3 best sugar wash recipes for the home distiller. There are tons of sugar wash recipes on the internet, but we decided to provide you with the most basic ones. Once you're comfortable preparing this wash, you can tweak it as desired. Here are 3 of the best sugar wash recipes. 1. Birdwatcher's Tomato Paste Wash. Yields: 80 liters 21 gallons wash. Equipment: hydrometer, thermometer, fermenter. Ingredients: 3 cups tomato paste, juice of 3 lemons, 18 kilograms 39 pounds sugar, 225 grams fresh baker's yeast, water. Instructions: mix the paste, juice, 14 kilograms of sugar, and 60 liters 15 gallons of water. Stir until the sugar dissolves. Take a gravity reading. You should get 1.09. Add the remaining 4 kilograms 8 pounds of sugar and 20 liters 5 gallons of water to bring the mixture to 80 liters. Take another gravity reading. It should still read 1.09. Take a temperature reading. You should get 30 to 35 degrees Celsius, 86 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Pitch your yeast and stir until dissolved. Take another temperature reading. It should still be between 30 to 35 degrees Celsius, 86 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Check the gravity and temperature daily. Also, stir the wash daily. On day 3, siphon the wash into an airlocked container. Take gravity and temperature reading. After 7 to 8 days, the final gravity should be 0.995. Now you're ready to distill. 2. Still Spirits Turbo Wash. Yields: 25 liters 6.6 gallons wash. Equipment: fermenter, hydrometer, thermometer. Ingredients: 150 grams Still Spirits Distillers Nutrient Light Spirits, 1 sachet Still Spirits Distillers Yeast Vodka, 20 grams or Still Spirits Distillers Yeast Gin, 20 grams. 6 kilograms 13 lb sugar. Still Spirits Turbo Carbon, to absorb impurities during fermentation, optional. Still Spirits Turbo Clear, to speed up the clarification process, optional. Instructions: add 21 liters 5.5 gallons of water at 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit to your fermenter. Add the sugar and stir until dissolved. Pour the distiller's nutrient and yeast. Stir well. Cover with the lid and place the airlock. Allow the mixture to ferment at 20 to 32 degrees Celsius, 68 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. If using, you can add turbo carbon. When the airlock stops bubbling, fermentation is complete. Take the gravity reading. It should be below 1. Let the wash stand for 1 to 2 days to clear. Or add the turbo clear to hasten the process. Now you're ready to distill. 3 Ted's Fast-fermenting vodka. As the name implies, this recipe makes a fast-fermenting vodka within 3 days. This recipe yields a 23-liter, 6 gallons wash. Here's how to make Ted's fast-fermenting vodka. Equipment: fermenter, preferably 30 liters, 8 gallons. Large stainless pot, hydrometer, thermometer. Ingredients: 4 kilograms 9 pounds sugar, 250 grams wheat bran, 1 multivitamin tablet crushed, pinch Epsom salts, half a teaspoon diammonium phosphate DAP, half a teaspoon citric acid, 50 grams baker's yeast, water. Instructions: boil 2 to 3 liters 0.5-0.8 gallons of water in the pot. Stir in the bran and boil for approximately 15 minutes. Reduce the heat and let it simmer for 30 minutes, stirring occasionally until it becomes a thin porridge. Dissolve the sugar in warm water. Pour it into the fermenter. Top the fermenter with water until it reaches 20 liters. Add the tablet, Epsom salt, and DAP. Pour the bran into the fermenter. Add the citric acid. Dissolve the yeast in 100 milliliters of water, and pitch it. Take the temperature reading to ensure the temperature is below 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Take the gravity reading. It should be 1.060. Stir the mixture well. Leave the fermenter unsealed for 24 hours. After 36 hours, attach the airlock. After 3 days, take a gravity reading. It should read 0.990. Rack off the wash by siphoning it into a clean carboy. Let it settle for a couple of days. Once cleared, you're ready to distill. Thanks to J.B. Wagonmaker. Moonshine Life Recipes Group.